Welcome to My Sober Life. My name is Dr. Richard Fields. This is one of a number of series on mental health issues and drug alcohol issues. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about depression. And depression could be very mild, which we call a dysthymic disorder, kind of a low-grade depression, or it could be major, it could be intense. So dysthymic disorder would be sort of like having a cold. You feel like you have a cold, but you can function. Major depression would be sort of like pneumonia. So there's all different grades of depression, and people tend to abuse drugs and alcohol when they're depressed. They tend to abuse relationships when they're depressed, and it exacerbates problems that might be already there because people overreact when they're depressed. The best cure for depression is to take LSD, not the hallucinogen, but long, slow distance walking, jogging, or running. 45 minutes of altered consciousness by going out the door and just walking one step at a time will alter your mood and put you in a better frame. I often call depression Eeyore syndrome. Remember Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh, the donkey? Well, Winnie and all the members of the Pooh gang go up to Eeyore and say, "Come on, let's go swimming." And what does Eeyore say? In his kind of monotone voice, "Oh, I'm kind of too tired. Oh, I might get sunburned. Oh, I might get anxious about being down at the swimming pool. Oh, I'm expecting a phone call." All these negative, pessimistic views that the depressed personality has. Instead of accepting the invitation, altering your consciousness, dealing with the anxiety of whatever involves getting down to the swimming hole, Eeyore stays with the known that's comfortable for him, instead of getting out of the known and enjoying the invigoration of an altered state by trying something new like going swimming. In the drug alcohol field, we have the mnemonic of HALTS, which stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and sick. So when you're in vulnerable states of mind and body where you're hungry, you haven't eaten for a while, you skipped lunch, or you're emotionally hungry, you haven't been in a relationship, you're kind of lonely. When you're angry and pissed off about things, or things are not in your control, or goals are blocked and you're frustrated, or maybe you're doing this taping and it's not going the way you want it to go and you get a little frustrated with that. When you're lonely, you feel alone and you feel bored or disheartened. When you're tired and you're fatigued, and instead of taking a nap or resting, you use drugs to invigorate you, or do Red Bull or whatever it might be, whatever your drug of choice might be, where you're going to crash later on. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and sick. When you're sick, you usually don't have the patience, you don't work as hard, you don't feel good. It's very hard to be mindful and centered. So when you're in a halt state, you're more prone to depression, you're more prone to anxiety, and you're more prone to relapse into drug and alcohol use, or use more drugs and alcohol. So this mnemonic is very helpful for those in recovery to use halts to recognize maybe they're lonely, and that's going to trigger on maybe a Friday night the desire to use drugs. Maybe you're tired, and instead of taking a nap or relaxing or meditating, you use drugs. Or maybe you're sick, or maybe you're sick and tired. Maybe you're a combination of all 4 or 5. So it's real important to assess your vulnerable states, recognize that depression plays a role in your life, to be more active, to do LSD, and if depression and drug abuse are a problem, to seek professional help and see if medications will help, or some sort of spiritual relief will help, some sort of alternative activity that's attractive and attainable, some sort of athletic activity like playing tennis or taking up some sort of martial art. But it's real important to take initiative when you're depressed, but it's real hard to do that. So it's important that you do that and make connection with other people. And that's where a support group comes in, that's where AA comes in, that's where a sponsor comes in, that's where people in your support system come in. So think about these things, and hopefully you won't suffer from Eeyore syndrome or drug abuse. Thanks for being with us.